Here we are going to talk about the location-based services, or in short we call it LBS. So like we mentioned earlier, so if we categorize the mobile GIS application from the you can say consumer point of view, then in this case it could be the enterprise application to support the business of different enterprise, or it could be the consumer-based service, for example consumer-based application to support the daily life activity of the general public, and that the second type actually lead to these you can say critical and very important technology trend, which we code as the LBS. So the idea of the LBS is actually very easy to understand. So basically, LBS are the computer application that deliver informations by utilizing the location of the device or the user as the most important and essential parameters. So basically, that LBS application or LBS services, basically it provides information or provide the service by using the location of you or your device as the you can say critical parameter. So in terms of the computing platform, actually we can kind of like talk about it from this view. So the one of the first generation of the computing platform was on the personal computers, like the PCs, and gradually the computations they move from the PCs to the internet, or you can say to the cloud. So for example, like for many of the current popular services that we are using, like the emails or some online storage, and some of the online calculation services, actually they feed to the second generation of the computing platform. So that is the internet age. But however, right nowadays, you can say the current computing platform it moves to the mobile. So as you can see earlier, more than 90% of the usage are from internet usage are from the mobile devices. So in this case, many of the computing are executed on the mobile devices. So that's why the LBS actually becomes a lot popular to provide personalized and customized services by using the location of the device or the user. Okay, so and there are some characteristics of the location-based services. For example, because it's using the device location and also user location as the essential information or parameter, so that it can provide personalized services for the users, and the users can be mobile, or you can say the users could be on the move. So and then it can the LBS can be based on diverse hardwares and software platforms, and because it could be it's mainly using the internet, and it's mainly using the web. So in this case, it's not it usually applies it usually can be applied on different hardwares or software platforms. And the third characteristic is that the LBS can receive or transmit data from or to various sources, and you can receive data from by connecting to the sensors of the device of the mobile devices as well. And finally, the LBS is regarded as that it must integrate and process data in real time, because you want to utilize the device location to provide the near real-time personalized service. So in this case, it's kind of like indicating that it needs to integrate or process the data in real time. Okay, so the LBS is actually a very important term and concept, but however, the definition the definition is actually quite easy to understand. So let's take a look at some examples. One popular type of the LBS application is to support the search or recommendation the nearby events or business or people. For example, if you want, you can search for the social events, or if you want, you can search for the POIs, or you can search for your friends or celebrities, or to do some mobile advertising. So for example, when first time or the early age of the LBS, when the LBS becomes getting more and more popular, one of the signature application is the Foursquare. Right, one of the signature application is called Foursquare. So the Foursquare actually is a check-in application. So when you go to a restaurant and then you can check in over there, like what you did right now with, for example, Twitter or Facebook. You can check in over there with your friend and then to post some photos or to post some messages over there. And before that, actually, before you do that on Twitter or Facebook, actually, Foursquare is one of the most like famous example or famous application to do that. And when you do that, actually, you can earn some earn some points, and then which allow you to earn some badges of that store or that restaurant, and eventually by going there frequently, and then by checking over there a lot, then eventually you can get the badge of the mayor, so you will become the mayor of that restaurant. And actually, at that time, because Foursquare was very popular and famous, and many of the restaurants actually they have some collaboration with the Foursquare, or you can say they utilize the Foursquare pages, and which means that when you go when you go to that restaurant, and then they will say, okay, if you show me that you are a mayor of this restaurant, then you will receive a free drink, or you will receive some percentage of the discount. So that is what that's how popular the Foursquare was at those ages, you can say, in those years. But however, nowadays people are not really so fancy about the Foursquare anymore, though. But I think it's still online, so if you want, you can still use it. And this another example I want to show you is what they call now. This is actually a pretty I like the idea of their how they identify the events that you can attend. For example, when you what you can do is to recommend or search for the social event for a certain region, and the way that they identify those events are actually by crawling the events on Twitter, and if there are a lot of people talking about a certain event, then they will appear on this you can say mobile application. So the idea is quite clever and also intuitive as well. And star sighting is one interesting you can say application. So basically, when you see a certain star or a certain celebrity on the street, they are filming, or they are just I don't know, having their enjoying their time or somewhere, and then if you want, you can tag them, or you can take a picture and say, okay, so I see a certain celebrity at which location and at what time, and then you can share that information with other people that are using this star sighting app. And of course, privacy is one issue over here, though. Okay, so in this case, basically that's just just to give you guys an example of the LBSI to search for the people or your friends as well. So for example, like from iOS or iPhone, actually you can have these find my friend application to identify if you and your friends share your location, then you can see where your friends locate as well. So that's also a type of LBS service. And the other final one for this category is the mobile advertising for the where ads. Alright, so this is actually a very like you can say clever and also effective way to do advertising. So for example, if you are using this application, then when you turn it on, when you are you can say window shopping, or when you walk on the street, and then if this application is turned on, then you may receive some notification, and that notification may say, okay, so 500 meters away, there is a store that they have a flash sale, or they have like how much percentage, like for example 20% off in terms of the sandwich, or in terms of clothing. So this is a very, you can say, direct advertising, because you are already nearby, right? You are already at the nearby location, so it will attract you to go there, because since you are already nearby, and then there's some discount, and then it will attract you to go visit the store or the restaurant. So this is actually quite important concept in terms of the mobile advertising. To share some information with you, one of when I was pursuing my PhD degree, one of our senior students, actually after he graduated, he went to a startup company and working on this type of mobile advertising. And these where ads actually were, I believe, was also acquired by PayPal, I think, by like a certain amount of money actually. Okay, and then the other types of the LBS, actually the most you can say popular type could be the turn-by-turn navigation, and geofencing is one as well that we the concept was discussed before, and the assistive healthcare system, contextualizing learning, and also games. They are some possible types of LBS applications. For example, in terms of the navigation, like Google Maps or other types of navigation system, and WAS is one of the example, and is also one of the navigation system. It was you can say it was a startup company in Israel, and where they have this location-based service for the turn-by-turn navigation. It has some gamification concept inside it. The more you drive, and the more you can say event that you report, then you can collect more points, and then eventually you can use them to buy different clothing, or buy different skin for your car on the street, and then you can see other players or other drivers on the street as well. So we have more to discuss for the weather, for the West, and we will discuss that because it has also some volunteer geographic information component. So we will discuss more about it in the VGI unit. And in terms of the games, is also there are some LBS games. The one of the, you can say, earlier signature application is from Google, is the Google's Ingress, and so where you have two, you can say two sites, and then you can build some tower to defend to take over or defend some portals that you can see on the street, and then you need to move around and then to occupy those portals so that you can earn more points for your for your clan, for example. And this ingress actually is also quite important because as you think about the LBS games, one of the popular one that I think many of you may heard or played before is the Pokemon Go. So Pokemon Go actually it was actually based on the information or the data that the Ingress players created. So for example, those gyms or those resource points, those information actually was borrowed from the Ingress database, and so you can say that without Ingress, actually there won't be Pokemon Go. So it's a very important game for created by Google. Okay, so but however, the reason that Google create this game is not to just to create a game. It's not a gaming industry, right? It's not a gaming enterprise. So the reason that to create this Ingress, what I heard is that they are trying to create this LBS game so that people are using the the smartphone, and also they are using the GPS to locate themselves, and then what Google wants to do is to collect those GPS signal information, and then hopefully they can improve their positioning accuracy. That's what I heard. So if you heard other information, then you can feel free to share with us in the class. So basically, those are some of the LBS examples. So the LBS idea and concept is pretty straightforward, and there are already a lot of LBS examples as well. So hopefully right now you can understand what LBS is.